Hello, this is Crypto CJ. It's a trade of the day, Friday afternoon slash evening slash Saturday morning edition, depending on where you are in the world. We have a really nice recovery today. Bitcoin broke 68K. Ethereum's pushing 3,300. We had the sell the news event with the Ethereum ETF, so that's starting to recover. And a little bit of news coming out, so we will talk about that. I'll share my page or share my screen and go to my Twitter page. And let's go here. Should be seeing my Twitter page. This just in, state of
Yeah.
Michigan adds Bitcoin ETFs to its pension fund. So discloses $6.6 million purchase. Now that's not much for a pension fund, but we have Wisconsin adding to the or buying an ETF a couple of weeks ago, and now Michigan, maybe the whole Midwest of the USA is going to buy. All their pension funds will buy Bitcoin and maybe the Ethereum ETF, and we'll rock these out and push the prices up. So that was the major news I saw. I don't know if that's enough to push the market up the way it is. I just think it might be a function of how it's working after being down for a couple days. But anyway, let's go over to the Bitcoin chart. We were over 68. Looks like we dipped a little bit, but up over 3% today, and still shooting for 70K. I'd like to see it break this resistance we have here. We could be a few days, a few weeks away from that, though. On Ethereum, let's go to the hour chart. Yeah, we almost got to 3,300 at noon. Dipped a little bit since then. We're up just under 3% on Ethereum. But overall, pretty mellow Friday. I do want to make an announcement that this Zoom call will change. Some of you know, I will be doing a digital nomad gig in Southeast Asia beginning about a week from today. I hope to be over there. And obviously the time change is different. So I'm going to move this call from currently it's Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to move it to Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And most of my regulars are in agreement with that. I will keep you posted through email and the Slack group. And so be ready for that. The Monday call will stay on Mondays, but that will also go to 8 p.m. Eastern. So we'll have calls with CJ on Monday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, probably through November. And I may keep the times when I come back to the US. Not sure what's in store for me in 2025, but getting a little ahead of myself. So hope you guys flex to that and it's okay. Any questions or comments about that before we look for some trades? Or should we talk about the market some more? Actually, I didn't really make that option available. Any comments about Bitcoin, Ethereum, or the market overall before we look for some trades?
Hmm. Solana is doing wonderful things.
Solana broke 180, and let's do something a little different. We'll look at Solana now. You would usually do this in more of the category of the swing trade, but a lot of us like Solana and are trading it. I've got a short-term swing trade. I'm actually have all three of my strategies I'm doing on Solana. I've got a hodl on Solana, including staking. I've got a short-term swing. Then I'm looking to get out. I think 185. I just missed it. So, and then um and then scalping it too. So, loving me some Solana lately. And a lot of that has to do with what Craig and he and his friends are doing on the scalping approach. So, pretty cool stuff. But that's a call for another time. And at the moment on the 1 hour chart, we are at resistance though, this 182 level. It tried to break through 185 earlier this morning, but didn't quite make it. So we'll see. Let's look at a longer time frame. I have to go to the day chart. Yeah, we have not been above 200 since April. So that's where I was originally looking to get out of my swing trade, but it was taking too long. So I reduced it down to about 185, and we'll see if that breaks through or not. That's just a spot trade on Coinbase. Craig,
And
anything you care to add on Solana?
yeah, there is the Solana annual conference is coming up at the end of September, and there's speculation that Solana is going to do some quite big things from
Cool.
around over the next few months.
Yeah, I'm keeping that hodl bag for a while, um, probably till the end of the year, if not longer. So good stuff. And I do day trade it from time to time. It moves pretty nicely. We're up 6% today, just under. So yeah, even though we look at Altcoin Alert and some other information sources to determine what to trade as day traders, there's nothing wrong with going back to the same thing. I remember somebody I met early who just traded Ethereum. It's all she did, 0.5% on Ethereum, and she did pretty well with that. So, Craig likes Solana and trades that pretty frequently. So, that's good too.
Almost exclusively, yep.
Almost exclusively, yeah.
Although I did take one of your trades last week,
You
and
did.
it worked out really well.
That's what I like to hear. Speaking of those, let's anything else on the markets overall before we go to Altcoin Alert? Okay, let's check it out. So I'm on Altcoin Alert. Easy mode is off. I'm on the radar function. I've got all the columns going. I'm going to refresh. And the first sort I like to do is an AA score. I'm looking for values 80 or higher. And I've been trading the same two coins out of this for the past 10 days. And it's Jasmy and Didix. They've been over 80, and I've longed them mostly, a few shorts here and there based on what I see on the charts. Uh, these coins move nicely, pretty good volume on I'm trading on Bybit. I don't know how they're doing on Coinbase. I'm not sure if they're both on there or not, but let's check it out. So I've got my Jasmy chart up. Let's see if this is on. It is on Coinbase, so we'll just use that chart. So this is my day trading layout. You guys should be pretty familiar with this by now. I've got the supply and demand visible range, Lux Algo, as support and resistance. And I can send this to you if you're interested. I can copy this link and email it to you. Just email me at cryptocj13@gmail.com if you want this layout. And then the RTI, the relative trend index, is what I use for alerts. And then sometimes I'll use a cumulative delta indicator for confirmation. But my favorite setups are these right here. When it breaks below the 20 on the RTI, it comes back up. And let's see, we got an example of that here. It was a little bit of a fake out. So this makes a nice break up, but then it dips. But it does eventually work out. Yeah, I probably would have taken an additional trade in here and maybe gotten out here where my first trade breaks even and my second trade makes a couple percent. Or maybe I'm holding on. I take a second additional position. I've got 3 positions total. Then I catch this breakout, and those 3 do really well. All of them are in profit. Triples my profit. That's a strategy known as ladder buying or dollar cost averaging. I like to do it on longs, to a lesser degree on shorts in a bull market. Uh, but be advised, there is some risk with that. If you do additional purchases and it keeps going against you, you can triple your loss. So yeah, that's the chance we take. So anyway, we got another example here where it breaks above the 20 and dips, but obviously the best entry is right here. and it makes a huge move. It's up 14, 15% in, less than a day. So I wouldn't have held on that long probably. On my day trading, I'm looking for a 1 to 1.5% profit. I'm at 10x leverage as I'm a fairly experienced day trader. If you are not, if you're still learning this, you should just stick with spot trades on Coinbase or whatever spot trade exchange you're using. And maybe look for 2 to 3% profits, or look at the chart and determine where to get out. So let's say I would have taken this one yesterday afternoon. The market would have looked like this, or the layout would have looked like that. The red zone is up here at around 286. So I could have gotten in here and held on to the red zone. That would have been a 11% profit. That's an outstanding day trade. And this is a perfect setup nearly. It's coming out of the green zone. It breaks above the 20. And there's all this room to get back to where it was just, the day before. So this is why I've enjoyed trading this coin lately. And to set an alert on the RTI, just right click, add an alert, crossing up on the 20. If you select once per bar close, it will stay open until you turn it off. So that's what I usually do. I usually turn it on 7 or 8 in the morning and turn it off about 12 hours later, give or take. Alert name, usually use the information source. Notifications, notify on my app on my phone, show a toast notification, which pops up on my computer screen, play a sound also on my computer screen, and there's a few to choose from. I like 3 notes reverb for my day trades, so that's how you do that. Any questions on Jasmy as a day trade? Okay, let's look at the swing trade setup for Jasmy, because maybe you don't want to go in and out of trades all day. You want to hold them and try to make a little bit more money. That's okay with me. I'm on the almost on the 1 hour chart. Now I'm on the 1 hour chart. Okay, so with this one, I'm using the same indicator for support and resistance. And then I've added the SuperTrend, which is alert friendly, to help me determine when to get in. And then the Trendilo LSMA, which is a moving average indicator for confirmation. So the ideal situation is kind of right here. So you can see it, Jasmy breaks down into the green zone, the buy prints on this big candle, and we've got the green LSMA. So the alert would have gone off here, and that's an 8% move. On a swing trade, I'm usually looking for around 10%, and we happen to have that in the red zone here. So I'd still be in that trade, which is fine. I'm expecting to be in swing trades for a couple days, maybe even a couple weeks. So yeah, still would have been in that one. And that's an easy alert to set. Right click on the super trend. If you want to trade both directions, leave it on this option. For a long, you go with buy. And I'm going to leave that on only once. And again, that's an AA score. And notifications are the same for a swing trade. I'm going to choose handbell, so I hear something different, and I know it's a different kind of trade. And that's how you do that. Any questions on Jasmy as a swing trade? Okay. Let's go back to Altcoin Alert. And let's see if there's anything else I want to look at. The guys in CryptNation like Ondo, so we could look at that one. I believe this one's on Coinbase as well. And it is. All right, so we'll look at Ondo as a spot trade. We're late to this one, but you can see yesterday afternoon it had that dip below 20, and then a really nice recovery. Here's a dip, and then when they broke out on Wednesday night, that happened right about here. So, yeah, pretty decent move.
Yeah,
Had you,
my computer.
had you held on longer.
Because I can't see it.
Got some background noise, so please mute. Okay, so yeah, Ondo looks pretty good when it dips below the 20. At the moment, we're above the 80. So another option instead of the 20 is the 50. You know, it breaks above. Here, let me pull the vertical line. So we have a break above the 50, and that's where I look at my cumulative delta to see if it's matching, if there's some decent movement in the desired direction. We have that here, so you can take that. This is more of a trend trade. Probably get in right about here, and ride this up to the top of the zone. 6% trade in less than a day. That's a great day trade. Okay, any questions on Ondo as a day trade? Okay, let's look at it as a swing. On the 1 hour chart, the buy signal triggered a little while ago, right here. That's actually last night, excuse me. And the Trendilo LSMA is green, and we're coming out of the green zone. We're a little late on this one. It's up about 2.5%, but it's got room to the red zone of 12%. I think it would be reasonable, not financial advice, to take this trade and ride it back to $1.10, and then have some funds set aside to maybe make another purchase at 90 cents, and then double your position in case it dips and then comes back up. But yeah, I like this setup. I like it. I like it better here. Oops, wrong button. But this will do. Any questions on Ondo as a swing trade? All right. So that was two AA scores. Let's do a quick refresh. We'll do some other sorts. Let's look at the social activity sort. I'm going to match that up with trading activity. I'm going to look for some combination of fire, thumbs up. And let's see, DNT, that's an oldie but goodie. UMA, FX, OGN, something I used to trade a couple years ago quite a bit. ZRX, it's mostly these older projects. Band, another one, up 20% today. What's up with that? Yeah, I'm a little curious about Band. Let's look at that one. This volume isn't that great, so I haven't been trading it as much as I used to. Let's look at, it is on Coinbase. Yeah, you can see on the 15-minute chart how you got these smaller candles. A lot of, there's several horizontal ones, which means nobody traded in that time frame. So we'll go ahead and stay on it for now. It did really well when it broke below the 20 and came back up. That happened here. And it broke above the 50. It's looking like the others we've looked at. So once this dips back below the 20 or the 50, that could be an entry. You could, if you get a movement like this, you could go ahead and make that entry. And if it dips below the 20, make that one as well. Double up your position. And again, a quick reminder, RTI alert. You can set two, one for the 50 and one for the 20, even one for the 80 if you're really ambitious. It's crossing up. Go with the 20 or the 50 or the 80 and set up your notifications and name it as you see fit. Actually, this is a social activity sort, so a little different. Any questions on band? Take a quick look. As a swing. Okay, it had that big move today, so we're already in the red zone in the 1 hour chart. Look at the 4 hour, same thing, day. Okay, it's got some room to move on the day chart to get to this resistance here. Our move is, it's not cooperating. 20%, 15 to 20% on this resistance here. That took 61 days. So keep that in mind if you're, this could be more of a hodl or long-term swing. We've got back in late March over here to 225. That's almost 50%. All the way to the red zone in mid-March, 250-ish, over 60%. So these are, it has really good retracement potential, but you might be in it for a while. Any questions on band as a swing? Okay, it's the weekend. What do we do on the weekends? Look for a short for the weekend. So I like to use the long-term sentiment sort for that purpose. And again, this is for more experienced traders who are trading on leverage and trade the market in both directions. If you're a spot trader, the short approach won't necessarily apply to you yet, but check it out for the future, I suppose. Okay, long-term sentiment sort. I'm going to match this up with the Elder Impulse Daily. So I've got my sentiment, what people are talking about online, Elder Impulse, which is a technical indicator, and I want to see these match up. Aave and Rune are older projects. Rune I like. I trade that with some frequency. Aave not as much. But either one I think would be good. Let's go with Rune. So Thorchain. And is this one you can trade on? Yeah, it's not on Coinbase. We're shorting it anyway, so you probably have to be on Kraken, or I don't know if they do short trades on Kraken or not. But for now, we'll assume that if you're interested in this type of trade, you're on an exchange that allows it. And we've got a pretty good setup now. It broke through the red zone and it's dipping down. It just came down below the 80, which is where I like to enter on short trades. Okay, wrong one. There's my line. So yeah, we get the breakdown right here, and it's kind of gone sideways since then, but it's still below the 80. So I kind of like this entry for a short, and I think I might just jump on this one. Not financial advice, but let's go. All right, so that's my weekend short. And I'm just looking for it to come down maybe a couple percent, 1 to 2%. Yeah. So even 3% down to the midline here between the support and resistance would be pretty good exit. Got some support and resistance back and forth here at around 449, 450. That could be a good exit on a short. Or you could try to ride it all the way down to the green zone about 430.
Do you preset your take profits on that, or do you just come back Monday and see what's going on, or how do you handle that on your shorts for the weekend?
This will be on my beta testing auto trading software, so that'll handle it. But before I had that, I would set a take profit, and I would use what I just showed you as a guide. I'd probably go with this area right here, this 450 area. This is where I see the support and resistance kind of, you know, fighting back here, back and forth here. I think I go with that. If you want to hold on longer, then the green zone would be the way to go, I think. Okay, any questions on the short on Rune on a day trade? Okay, guys are pretty quiet today. It's a swing. Let's go to the hour chart. Yeah, this is pretty good. It just broke out of the I gotta do something here. I'm getting messages that are interfering. So mute notifications for an hour. Okay, back to my share. Okay, Rune on the hour chart. We broke down out of the red zone, but we don't have a signal yet from the SuperTrend, nor do we have a red line from the Trendilo LSMA. So I would just go ahead and set an alert, a sell on this one instead of buy like we usually do. Choose sell, and only once. That was a long-term sentiment buy. I might just go ahead and take this one, set up this alert, and go with the handbell. It's a swing trade. I don't think I have any swing shorts going right now, so I should have one going. Click create, and your alerts will show up over here. And at least it should. Huh, I'll have to look into that, why that didn't show up. Oh, I know, they changed this. Log. Yeah, they just changed this. They used to have these on top of each other. Now you have to choose one. So that's the alert I just sent. Long-term sentiment buy on the 1 hour chart. Okay, any questions on Thorchain as a swing trade on a short? If you want to do this as a long, I think we're too late. You could just right click and set up for the next buy. Choose this as a buy and set that up the same way I just did. What'll happen is it'll cycle through a sell, and then if it's a short dip, the buy will kick in, around here somewhere, and then you'll have 5 or 6%. I don't think it's a great entry for a long. Some of the ones we looked at before were better than this for a long, I think. Any questions on Rune? Okay, any questions on anything that we talked about today?
Yeah, I got a question.
Okay.
Okay, Ruin, the one you got up there, it's on the sell cycle coming down, or the short cycle.
Yep.
Okay, it'll come down and make that swing, and it'll go back up. And you set your alert on that. And you've got your bots in place, but how do you stop it from buying on the? You're going to want it to buy in earlier, and you're not going to want it to sell on that first spot way up. You're going to want it to sell after it swings, right?
Okay,
After after the pivot at the top.
yeah, I may have confused you with my reference to the auto trading. All it does for me is when I do a manual trade on that software, it already has the take profit percentage and the additional purchases in that sequence. But so that's how that works. But as far as like whether I get in the trade or not, that's still a manual decision I make based on the chart I'm looking at. So if this sell kicks in, I will look at the chart and still see if I still want to do it. Like the sell may trigger and then the LSMA hasn't hooked yet. And I may decide that's not enough confirmation. I don't take the trade yet. And then I could just keep an eye on this LSMA. I don't know if it's alert friendly. It isn't. Yeah. So I'd have to keep an eye on it or maybe set a price alert to determine when that happens. And then once I have all those figures into place, then I would go ahead and take the trade on my software. Where if you don't have that kind of thing, like 3 commas or what I'm using, then you have to do it manually on the exchange, and that's just, you can put your take profit in on pretty much any exchange as soon as you make the entry, and then based on what you see on the charts. Not sure if that answers your question or not, but
No, I think I didn't ask it right. Okay, so it's coming down to sell. You want to go ahead and set it to buy back in at with an alert. Well, I guess alert. You can set it to buy back in the green zone, wherever you want it to buy back in at. So then when it hooks back up, you don't want it to sell on the first, say the just right after the midline.
mm-hmm.
You want it to hook and come back down. How do you could it not because it's too short between the green and the midline. You want it to go above that and hook and buy it up there. How do you set that
Is this for a short or a long?
for long?
All right, for a long. All right, so the theory is, this is going to come down, and then like if I take this short, I hope it comes all the way down here. But otherwise, maybe it comes up to about here before the sells, and the sell kicks in right about here. And if everything else is in play, I'm going to want to take this probably up to the red zone again for about 8%. I think that's how I'd evaluate it. But, I would wait for the SuperTrend and the LSMA to do their thing, see if I like the setup. And if it's still, if it's in this vicinity, I'd probably be interested, somewhere around here.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, I don't think it wouldn't wait that long. I don't think it would, the super trend wouldn't go above the mid zone. I don't think it might, but I'm still not sure if I'm addressing your question.
Kind of let me work around it a little more, maybe make it a little more clear. So
Okay.
I'll
All right. Well, I appreciate you asking. Any other questions or comments? All right. Well, as I indicated earlier, we will not have a Zoom call a week from today. The next one should be in about 2 weeks, and I'll keep you posted. We're moving this to Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, and I'll be on the other side of the world. So thank you guys for joining us. If you're watching on the recording, I appreciate that too. Check out the opportunities in the pinned comment. They help fund the channel, and you guys have a good weekend. Bye.